Now, if you're like me and you love piping cupcakes, maybe you're looking for some new techniques to add into your cupcake boxes. Well, in this week's video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you this really easy and fun technique to create a two-tone rose swirl. Okay, let's get started. So the things that we're going to need in order to create our two-tone rose cupcakes is, first of all, I've got some American buttercream that I've just split between two bowls. I've then got some of my vanilla cupcakes, and these have just been baked in some white cases. Now, I will put links in the description below to the recipe for the American buttercream and also the vanilla cupcakes. You're then going to need a 2D piping tip, a piping bag, your offset spatula, and the colour that you want to colour your buttercream. Lastly, I always use a glass just for holding my piping bag whilst I'm filling it. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is prepare my buttercream. Now I've got two bowls and one has slightly less than the other, and this is going to be the darker colour. So I'm just using some of the raspberry food gel by Colour Splash. And I'm just mixing that through. And whilst I'm mixing that through, I also want to make sure that I'm getting out as many air bubbles in my buttercream as I can. So I'm just spreading that buttercream against the side of my bowl, just pushing out any bubbles that have formed when the buttercream has been mixed in the mixer. And you can colour your buttercream any colour you like. You just want to make sure that you've got one colour that is slightly darker than the other. Now, with the second bowl of buttercream, I'm actually going to keep this the neutral buttercream colour, so just that off-white. But I'm going to make sure that it's as smooth as possible. So again, just going in with my spatula, just pushing out any of those air bubbles, pulling that buttercream around the side of the bowl. Now that I've got my buttercream, I can then prepare my piping bag. Now, if we take a closer look at the piping tip that I'm going to be using, this is the 2D piping tip, and this creates a really classic rosette swirl. Now, I will put links in the description below to some other videos where you can see some other examples of swirls that you can create using the 2D. Now, this is a closed star piping tip, so you can see that the points just come over at the top, just curving over to meet in the center. Now, in the middle, you should have a small gap, and this is going to allow for your buttercream to come out. Now, one thing that can happen with the 2D piping tip, especially when you're cleaning the tip, is sometimes the points at the top, even though they're curved over, they actually curve over a lot more, and those points end up touching in the center. This can create issues when you pipe your swirl. You might see a gap in your buttercream where that swirl has separated. This is because the buttercream can't flow out of your piping tip and those points are getting in the way. So one thing you can do is just take your knife and you can just ease those points back out, making sure that you still got that curve on the top. And this is going to mean your buttercream can flow out perfectly. I'm then going to take my piping tip and just work out whereabouts on my piping bag I need to trim. Pop that piping tip in and just pull it tight. Now, you can add just one colour of buttercream, but for these swirls, we want to create that two-tone effect. So we want those outside edges where the points are to be that slightly darker colour. So this means we need to add the dark colour around the inside of the bag. I'm going to start by taking that tall glass and just folding my piping bag over the top. I'm then going to take some of that light pink and using a small offset spatula, or you could use the back of a spoon, I'm going to cover the inside of my piping bag. And you want to make sure that you're getting as far down as you can, and you just want to try and get a nice even coat. Now, one thing you can do is pop some buttercream in the bag, squidge it all together and open the bag up. I just find this method a lot less messy. Once the inside of your bag is covered, I'm then going to fill it with some of that lighter cream buttercream, and you just want to push that down. So that lighter buttercream is going to be in the center, and tighten the end of my bag, just holding it between my thumb and my finger. And then just gonna push out that buttercream so that you can see we've got the tips and then that lighter color in the center. Bringing in my cupcake, we want to start in the center. So I'm going to hold that piping bag at a 90-degree angle above my cupcake. Allow some of that buttercream to come out and connect with the top of my cupcake. I can then start to work my way around. So I'm just going to create a small rotation around that center. Once I get back to where I started, I'm going to go around the edge of this. So I'm just working my way out, and you can go clockwise or anti-clockwise, whatever feels more comfortable. You just want to go nice and slow. And as you can see, we've got this really fun dark pink on the tips of our swirl. So I'm just working that around until I get to the edge of my cupcake. I'm then going to bring my piping bag round, and once I get to the edge, I'm going to stop applying pressure and just pull away. And this is going to give us our rosette. So I'm just going to do another one just to show you that again. So here we have a really fun two-toned rose cupcake, and as you can see, we've just got this dark pink on each of the points. Now you could leave your cupcakes like this, you could even add some sprinkles. I want to make this look more like a rose and actually cover where we've pulled that buttercream away. So I'm going to be showing you can add some leaves. So I've just coloured some buttercream in a leaf green colour, and I'm going to be using a leaf piping tip. So this is the 366. This is a large piping tip, but you also do get slightly smaller versions. So this is the 352, depending on the size of the leaves you want to create. And this just has a V cutout. So I'm going to pop that piping tip into my piping bag with some of that leaf green buttercream. Now I'm going to have the V at the side, so you just want the points at the top and the bottom, and you want to place your piping tip where you want that leaf to start. I'm then going to apply pressure just to allow some of that buttercream to come out. So I'm going to let that spread. I'm then going to pull my piping bag away from my cupcake. When that gets to the desired length of my leaf, I'm going to stop applying pressure and just pull away, and this is going to give us a nice point at the end. And you can also add just another leaf next to that one. You can then either add these cupcakes into cupcake boxes on their own or with other designs of cupcakes, or add them into your cupcake bouquets. So here we have the finished two-tone rose effect cupcakes with this really pretty dark pink around the edge. I really hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial and will be able to use this technique when piping your own cupcakes. If you have enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to give it a like. And if you'd like to see more videos like this and you haven't already, then don't forget to subscribe to the Cakes by Names YouTube channel. Now, I will leave links in the description below to some other piping technique videos in case you want to check those out. So until next time, bye!